Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the power of God. Welcome to this morning's Srimad-Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 2, Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 5, which is entitled The Cause of All Causes, and this morning doing text 18. We're very fortunate this morning to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami to give a class. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Glories Prabhupada, my obeisances. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's see. Okay. Sattva-rajas tama iti nirgunasya gunastrayaham stiti sarga virodesu grihita mayaya vibaho. Translation: the Supreme Lord is pure, spiritual form, transcendental to all material qualities, yet for the sake of the creation of the material world and its maintenance and its annihilation, he accepts through his external energy the material modes of nature called goodness, passion, and ignorance. Purport: the Supreme Lord is the master of the external energy manifested in the three material modes, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. And as the master of this energy, he is never unaffected by the influence of such bewildering energy. The living entities of Jiva, however, are affected or susceptible to being influenced by such modes of material nature. That is the difference between the Lord and the living entities. The living entities are subjected to those qualities, although originally the living entities are qualitatively one with the Lord. In other words, the material modes of nature, being products of the energy of the Lord, are certainly connected with the Lord, but the connection is just like that between master and the servants. The Supreme is the Lord is the control of the material energy, whereas the living entities who are entangled in the material world are neither masters nor controllers. Rather, they become subordinate to or controlled by such energy. Factually, the Lord is eternally manifested by his internal potence of spiritual energy, just like the sun and the rays in the clear sky. But at the same time, he creates the material energy as the sun creates a cloud in the clear sky. Okay. As the sun is ever increasingly unaffected by the spot of the cloud, so also the unlimited Lord is unaffected by the spot of material energy manifested as time in the unlimited span of the Lord's rays of Brahmajyoti. Omagyanti mirandasya gyanajana salakaya chaksu unmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastayam Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpataru Vischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the Lord is called Divyam, means transcendental. Dental refers to material. Trans means to rise above, that which is above the material, which means that which is into the spiritual. So the Lord, although he works through the material energy, although he puts the material energy in place, he actually doesn't touch the material energy. Through his manifestation as Vishnu, he becomes the maintainer of the material energy. through his manifestation as Lord Brahma, he becomes the formulator by which the material energy begins, and it begins its manifestation in actuality. Before then, it is simply in its very basic elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, like that. Once Brahma comes, he is initiated by the Supreme Lord in the heart. Tene Brahma Hidar Adhikabaye. He takes the material energy and he formulates it into the different bodies by which the living entities are injected into those bodies by the arrangement of Mahavishnu for the manifestation of the next creation. Until then, they are unmanifested, and they remain in a sleep state within the body of the Supreme Lord Mahavishnu. So once that is activated, and then the Lord maintains that through his Vishnu form, and the Lord also destroys through his manifestation as Lord Shiva. So all of these agencies are coming directly from the Lord, and they're actually non-different from the Lord, but they're more in line with his desire to manifest the material world, to maintain the material world, and to ultimately destroy the material world when the time of the creation has arrived, when the time of the annihilation has arrived. But just like a puppeteer is juggling or moving the puppets in different ways, you don't see the person behind who's moving the puppets, but the puppets are moving, and there is obviously someone moving the puppets. So in that same way, everything is moving by the will of the Lord. But being transcendental or spiritual, he's not of the same nature. Therefore, although he works with the material world, he doesn't touch it at the same time, or he is not affected by it at all. And he comes in his Vishnu form. It's not Krishna or Narayan. It is in the Vishnu forms that the Lord maintains the material world. The living entities in the material world desire to be separate from the Lord, and therefore they come to the material world to try to play the false role of controlling the material world in order to get some enjoyment from that type of control. But because that external energy of the Lord is powerful, they get trapped by the same energy by which they try to control. And therefore, their struggle is to somehow or other try to enjoy without being affected by the material energy, but they're always affected. Birth, death, disease, and old age, and various types of miseries are placed upon the living entity who thinks they can enjoy this material world by their intelligent efforts to control it. And this is called the hard struggle for material existence. Therefore, the living entities are not independent, but they have an ultimate connection with the Supreme Lord because they're of the same nature. The Jiver Sarupai Krishnera Nityadas, we are eternally connected with and servant to the Supreme Lord because we are of the same nature of the Supreme Lord. He is full spirit and we are tiny spirit. Spirit is one, but that spirit that maintains opposed to that spirit that is maintained. We are maintained by him. We are not maintainer. Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam. Nityo means eternal. Nityanam means many that are eternal. Chaitana means consciousness, and Chaitanam means the supreme consciousness. Eko Vidadati Kaman. Eko Vibhu Vidadati Kamas. He is one, and no one is greater to him, or no one is equal to him, and everyone is subordinate to him. And therefore, if we don't take our subordination under the Supreme Lord, and then in the form of service to the Supreme Lord, we become subordinate to the control of the material energy, although we mistakenly think we can control this material energy. but nobody can control the material energy because Krishna says, Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. I am the controller, maintainer, and ultimately destroyer of this material energy. It works under my direction through my different energies. And Eko Bhuvanam Vidadati Kaman. So everything is working through him. And we can accept control either through the material energy or the spiritual energy. But we cannot be independent from any control because of our nature as being jiva. Jiva means tiny or subject to control. So those who are actually understanding of their position and their relationship with both the material energy and Krishna will accept control of Krishna, and that is through the process of bhakti. Otherwise, there is the only all other alternative is to try to control the material energy, which ultimately controls us. So that is the only choice. And therefore, the living entities, until they actually come to the platform of accepting the control of the spiritual energy, which is the energy by which that elevates the living entities to the process of bhakti or devotional service, they continue to struggle in this material world. Maya Vase, Kacho Bese, Kacho Ha Bubu Dubai, Jiv Krishna Dase, Vishwash, Kolidana Dukanai, constantly moving from one material situation to another, always thinking that everything will become better as I make my plans for my happiness in this material world. But ultimately it ends in death or ends in everything is taken away in one form or another, either while we're still here or at the end of life. So therefore, one who is actually intelligent and is wise, as it says, what is that verse? Tasyaito hetu pradite na kovito, na labhyate tad bhamata ruparyada, tad labhyate dukhanabam anyasukam, kalena sarvatra gambira ramhasa. The first part of the verse, those who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined do not strive for any position anywhere within the three worlds, because they know it's all temporary and it's subject to defeat. Therefore, they aspire for the transcendental realm, that realm which is not ever created or never annihilated. Therefore, they're actually understanding of the true, their best interest, like that. And as far as material happiness is concerned, the second part of the verse goes on to explain that material happiness and material suffering come automatically simply by one's birth in the material worlds. So one should not try to increase material happiness or decrease material suffering. One should simply get out of that cycle and simply take shelter of the spiritual energy. Therefore, then they can increase their happiness, not based on the mind, the senses, and the intelligence, but based on the soul's pure nature to experience happiness in the realm of its own nature, which is the spiritual realm. So that means devotional service to the Lord. Don't waste time trying to make this place any better. You can't do it. Everyone's trying to make it better, but they're making a mess because they don't know that this place is controlled by higher authorities and not by our endeavors to make it better. Some people say, well, we've made it better. We have more material comforts now, but still you have to die, you still have to get old. You still have to, become diseased. So these are the things that can never be changed because they're intricately connected with the movements of the material energy. So material energy is called chaya. Chaya means shadow. The reflection of the reality is the chaya, or the reflection of the spiritual world is the material world. Therefore, chaya moves the material world as a person moves, as the shadow moves along with the person. So as Krishna moves, this material energy also moves. But we can make a mess out of Krishna's arrangement by trying to intervene in his control and try to control it ourselves. And therefore, we suffer and we also cause suffering to others. Therefore, one should give up this idea of trying to make this place a better place because you can't. It's not possible. If it was possible, everything would be nice today because people have been trying it for time immemorial. And there's been no change. Everything is still the way it is. People have to suffer, people have to die, people have to get old age, people have to get disease. Even nowadays, they're talking about more types of diseases ever before, how it's coming up one after another. They're trying to come up with new formulas to avoid disease, but only they create another type of misery by their attempts to ameliorate the sufferings that they're in. So stop trying to control this material energy or trying to enjoy it. Simply take shelter of the spiritual energy, and then one can be free from the effects of the material energy and enjoy real happiness and eternal life in association with the Supreme Lord, who is the master of both material and spiritual energies. Okay. These are some things we can think about. Go down the purport so we can see what else is included there. Okay. I think we covered that. It also talks about how the Lord is factually free from the material energy, although he connects all of his energies with the movement of the material energy. It's just like a person who owns a big corporation. He may be giving orders to his managers who do everything, but he is not so much directly involved with the activities of the operation. They are, but he has knowledge of how everything is working, and he knows how to adjust things to improve. But he's not directly involved with the activity. So in the same way, the Lord is not directly involved with any of the material movements, but he directs his energies according to the desires of the living entity to fulfill the living entity's desires. And therefore, in that sense, he is active, but at the same time, he's inactive because he's simply fulfilling the desires of the living entities. That's all. To enjoy this material world, which is not possible. Okay, so these are some things we can think about.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Very, very, very succinct. Very much to the point, the situation about us in the material world and what people are trying to do with the material world. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing now. And I would also request that you turn on your cameras, those of you that can in those situations. And if you want to ask a question, you certainly can unmute yourself and do that. Or you can raise your electronic hand up and I'll call you. So anyone who is interested now can ask a question or even share appreciation for some of the things that Candramauli Swami has wonderfully explained. Hare Krishna.
I gave a very succinct and very overview of everything, but there's a lot of details that also can be discussed in relationship to the living entities' connection with both the material and the material energy and the spiritual energy.
Very much so. So
because we're trapped. We have a material body, but we're spiritual. And therefore, we also try to fulfill the needs of the material body, but we have to learn how to fulfill the needs of the material body without getting entrapped in the movements of the material energy, where we become limited and we get defeated in attempts to simply to exist in this material world.
Okay. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Prabhupada. This is Anasuya Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you for such a amazing overview of the class. And as you were speaking, what's coming to my mind, Maharaj, is I run into situations where devotees are somehow sincerely they do want to take to the process and want to commit, but at the same time they are pulled by so many material obligations, and they play this card, that yes, I want to do this, but I have this material obligations too. And it's like when we see them, Maharaj, it's like watching a movie, like they are just getting trapped. That's the word you used. It was so much so. So how can we help them, Maharaj, to really realize how to balance it and at the same time not be trapped because they have a duty, to family or children, whatever. But how can we help them to, not be trapped, but at the same time do their occupational duty, but pursue their Krishna consciousness?
Yeah, the process of Krishna consciousness is holistic in that it includes all aspects of life. When we make this false dichotomy between our material responsibilities and our spiritual activities, we find ourselves getting confused or limited in either one of the two areas. So the idea is, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yat karosi aranasi yat jahosi dadasti yat tapasi tukunteya tat kurusham mararpanam. All that you do, all that you eat, he uses the word all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all activities you may perform, all austerities you may perform, should be done as an offering to me. This is the art of learning how to connect everything with the process of bhakti. This is called Gona Bhakti, which is parallel to pure bhakti, but it's also a form of bhakti, learning how to engage our friends, family, work, everything in the service of the Lord. That way, we're spiritualizing our life and not simply going through the activities of material life without any connection to the spiritual activity. But the problem is we still think that the way we live is the way that we should live because it's been dictated by society. This is the way we have to live. This is the way we have to buy. This is the way we have to organize our life. So we get caught up in this idea that what we hear and what everybody else is doing around us is the way to do it. Therefore, the more we take shelter of the association of devotees, not only the more we bring our friends, family members, and all the activities that we do into the activities of spirituality, we're starting to purify that. And then it doesn't become so much one thing or the other, it becomes one. Everything becomes spiritualized. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur sums it up in one, Manaso Deho Geho Yogichu Mur Arpilu tu Alpade Nanda Kishore. He's saying everything that I own, my home, my body, my wealth, everything I own, possessions, it's yours. And it is. It is. Krishna, when Krishna was in Vrindavan, he used to go to the gopis' house and he would just ransack the house by stealing all their butter and drinking all their milk and pinching the babies and letting the calves go so they could go and take milk from the cows. And then when they went to milk the cows, there was no milk from the cows because the calves already had taken it. So Krishna was doing all kinds of mischief. But what he was doing was attracting them to him through this idea of mischief. And every time they would catch him, he would just give some excuse why he was doing it for their benefit or what he was doing. He wasn't telling, you might say he was saying something different than what they were seeing. But because he was Krishna and because he was the supreme controller, he was doing everything to let them know, whatever you have in your house, it's mine anyway. Why do you think it's yours? That's what he was doing. I'm just taking what belongs to me anyway. And it's explained that when those persons that he came to take whatever, they said, Krishna, whatever you want, come into my house and take it. He gave them, he took it, but then he filled up their house again with the same thing he took. And those who didn't, who tried to prevent him, try to catch him, or try to take him to Mother Yasoda, he made a mess of their house and left. Just to show, it's everything belongs to me. I can do any damn thing I want. It's because it's mine anyway. And they were completely bewildered by whatever he was doing, because there was, as soon as they saw him and he spoke, whatever he said, they believed. Although in the past they could see whatever he did before, he made a mess and he was causing trouble. But each time he would come and say something, they would believe it, and then he would trick them again and steal everything. So he was just teaching, you're the thieves, not me. This stuff is mine. Why do you think I'm the thief? I'm just claiming what's mine anyway. So we're claiming this is my family, this is mine. Janasamoham, moham, janasamoham, aham mameti. This belongs to me. Where do we get that idea from? From the idea that we think we're this body. Because we think this is body, we are the proprietors or the users of what he gives us. But that doesn't mean it belongs to us. It's like if you go to rent something from a rental agency, they give it to you to use, but then you have to return it when you're done using it. So everything we're using, nothing belongs to us, not even the body. Just like when Sanatana Goswami was feeling very miserable and his body was abominable, he was thinking, I'm going to throw my body underneath the Jagannath cart and give it up because it's so abominable. It's just causing offenses to others. Of course, it wasn't. That was his humility. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that, he chastised him. He said, you're a thief. Your body belongs to me, and now you want to destroy my property. So those who think in terms of, well, I can commit suicide because I'm miserable, you're destroying Krishna's property. And those who want to use it for their sense gratification, they're a thief. That's all.
Mark, the way you are putting everything is like, wow. I mean, I've heard it many, many times, but just, the way you put it, Maharaj, that everything belongs to the Lord, and especially the really cute pastimes of Lord Krishna, stealing and pinching babies and all that. But at the end, everything belongs to him. It really, makes us think that we are nothing but just, tenants in this world, like renters, we got to give it back.
Yeah, we're just using it. He lets us use it. And if we use it in his service, he gives us more to use. As soon as we start taking it for ourselves, then it starts getting depleted and causing us suffering. So let's forget about this distinction, because this is mine and this belongs to God. This is material and this is spiritual. Everything belongs to Krishna.
Amazing point, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you. I mean, it just that concept, everything belongs to the Lord, and when you mentioned about, people that think of committing suicide, giving up their bodies, they have no right. Everything, the Lord decides everything, Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Just wonderful. Thank you.
This is the reality, because if you trace everything back, who says it belongs to you? Everything you got is given to you anyway. There's different agencies that provide what you have, but those agencies are also under the control of a higher agency, which is under the control of Krishna. I mean, your parents give you your body, therefore it's not yours. They gave it to you. But where did they get it from? Because they got it from their parents, and it goes all the way back to Krishna. So
simple concept, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank
yeah,
you
it's
very much, Maharaj.
the reality also.
Hare Krishna. Raj Mandala Prabhu, please unmute yourself and ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet, all glories to all of the Vaishnavas present. Guru Maharaj, I just want to say how sweet it is to hear that particular pastime you're talking about and how you are laughing in such ecstasy. I can see it. It's very, very sweet.
I agree with you, Prabhu. I agree with
It's
you.
very, very sweet. The mood is beautiful. The mood is correct, almost childlike, and I am drawn to that, Gurudev. And it reminded me of a beautiful story where Krishna and the cowherd boys, again, as you said, are in Mother Prabhavati's shed stealing butter and feeding it to the cows and the monkeys and stuff in their faces. And it's a lovely story, beautiful, beautiful story. And and Mother Prabhavati catches Krishna. They all scarper, the boys scarper, and the monkeys, everyone gets away apart from Krishna. And she catches him and she takes him to Mother Yashoda. And but Krishna changes his form to her own son, Chandra. And then there's that. She doesn't quite know what's happened, and she feels as if she's done something wrong. And Mother Yashoda says to her that, look, you're really hot and you're bothered, and maybe it's hot. Maybe have some cool water or some nice lassi. Just chill out, relax. It's okay. And the concept that you made was so sweet because Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna anyway. And when she's walking off with Chandra, Krishna changes his form back to himself. And she sees him and she's like, Chandra, is that you? And she's confused. Like, what's happening here? And Krishna slightly chastises her and says, don't do that again to me because I am your son too. And you make the best makand in whole of Vrindavan. And next time you do this, you'll have your husband by the hand. And that'll be a real laughing stock. So it just made me remember that story, which is ever so sweet. And I really like the mood that you exhibited there, Guru. That was very, very sweet. Thank you.
Thank you for really illustrating that same point in such a graphic way. Thank you.
Jai.
Nice. Yeah, it's and once you come to that consciousness, then nothing belongs to you. You're free. That's freedom. Then you can take whatever Krishna uses, it gives you, and see it for using it for his devotional service. And so, in the world, everyone is trying to get more. Everyone is trying to control more. And it's all, one person is fighting with another person. One country's fighting with another country. One nation's fighting with another nation. Everyone's fighting over stolen goods. They're both thieves. It's like the thieves get together and steal, and then they fight how they should divide it. Sometimes they make some pact where they decide, all right, you get this much and I get that much. But then again, after some time, they decide to get more anyway. So it's just the and whatever they have. See, you can't enjoy stolen property. That's the point. If you're trying to enjoy what Krishna gave you for your own selfish interest, you put yourself in an inordinate position where you're a thief and you're trying to enjoy the property of your thievery. That means sooner or later you're going to get caught and you're going to be punished. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so We have to learn to see everything in relationship to the owner. We can either see it directly as a manifestation of Krishna's energy, or we can see it as Krishna himself, who manifests himself in the form of his own energy. Either way, it's the same.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's why you quoted earlier. Yat Kurusiya, that's Nasiya, Jehosi, Hasiya. Krishna says everything is offered to me. That's why Maharaj talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. And the idea is, in order to perfect that lifestyle, we have to learn to live simply. If we accumulate more than when we actually need, then we can't really develop that proper mood of seeing everything in relationship to Krishna and how to use it properly. Therefore, it says in the Sri Upanishads, Ishavasham yadam sarvam, yad kincha jigam jiga, tena chaktena bundi chaham agradaha kusaswidanam. Everything in creation is owned and controlled by the Supreme Lord, and therefore one is entitled to their quota. Quota means what you need to live in this world nicely. And the verse goes on to explain that if you live in that way, according to your quota, then you can aspire to live for hundreds of years. People are actually decreasing their life because they're living outside of their actual quota. They're struggling to get more than they need, struggling to enjoy whatever they have. And therefore, the whole material life is simply struggle. That's all it is. They're all everybody's getting sick anyway.
Hmm.
The whole world's sick in terms of health. Is like right now it's in the worst situation ever. Everybody's sick. One physical problem after another, one mental problem, one anyway. But devotees know, all right, what do I need? I need a place to live. If you're a householder, you need some family members and friends. All of these things are done automatically through the process of serving Lord. And then together as a family or as a community or as a, nation, we can serve the Lord in a unified way where everybody's working in the same direction. That's the idea.
Thank you very much, man. It's a very, very, very to the point explanation with our situation. Hare Krishna.
It's very simple. It's very simple to understand.
Hare Krishna.
My enjoyment comes with my service to Krishna. If I'm serving Krishna, then I'm actually enjoying. And the more I stay absorbed in serving to Krishna, the more enjoyment becomes my experience in life. Yeah. So you want to be happy, connect back with the source of happiness, Krishna. And you can't enjoy his material energy because it's not ours. It's his. But he lets you have it and use it. And if you serve him, you also enjoy his material energy, but it's no longer enjoyment. It's an experience of spiritual satisfaction that comes with the process of serving him. So devotees may have so many material things, but they're not material because they use everything or use whatever they can in the service of the Lord. And if we don't know how to do that, then we should consult, superior authority and get some direction on how to live life in connection with the Lord. That's an art we also have to learn. But first we have to have the clarity that nothing belongs to us. As soon as we think this is mine, that's called illusion. The verse says, Janasa moham aham mameti. Aham I, mameti mine, moham. This is illusion. I and mine. That's spoken by the Lord himself. What is mine? What is I? These are all things we adopt based on the bodily conception of life. That's all. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Sri Devi Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj, for speaking the truth so powerfully and so clearly. I have a question regarding this conception of working hard. We understand, of course, as devotees that we work hard for Krishna, not work hard for Maya. But just recently, I was talking to a young lady and I was just asking her about, how they're using their time, etc. And she said, well, my husband is very busy in the morning from 9 to whenever in the night he finishes his work. We take breaks for lunch and that's it. And weekends is all we have because work consumes so much of our time. I said, so almost 12, 14 hours you all are working, both of you? Yes. I said, why do you have to work like that? Well, we have to work hard now because we are young and our bodies can work hard. And this way we will have a good sum at the time of retirement or even earlier. And then we can do whatever we want. Now is the time, youth is on our side. And so we have to work hard and make money. And then, by the time we are 40, 50, we can have a good life.
Trust no future, no matter how bright it may sound to our minds. All of these are conjectures. If we do this, we're going to get this, and when we get this, we'll be like this. Who says it's going to happen like that? That's the dream of the materialists. They're all dreaming like that. In the
But this
middle,
is very popular, very, very popular and strictly adhered to program, Guru Maharaj.
that's called the Protestant ethic. Just work hard, get some financial security, financial gain, and then get whatever you want and enjoy. This is the philosophy of fools.
So how to explain to such people that they are just wasting their time working for Maya?
You can't, because they're on that path. You have to divert their attention towards Krishna somehow.
But they do little bhakti on the side. Yeah, I wake up, I offer water, I do little, if I can, I chant one round if I get time.
Yeah,
And
23 hours for me and 1 hour for Krishna.
I'm doing bhakti as much as I can. I'm chanting one round in the morning. And if I can, one round in the evening.
Okay.
So
Continue
that's
to
it.
Yeah, well, if someone wants to continue to suffer, let them go.
Okay.
But we try to somehow divert their time and attention towards doing something for Krishna, chanting the holy names, doing some service for the temple, something. Gradually, if they continue in that way, they start to experience the happiness of devotional service. You
Yes,
can't, it's like dealing with children. If you tell children what not to do, but you don't tell them what to do, they're going to do the same thing anyway, because there's no positive direction. You have to give somebody something positive. Telling them what they shouldn't do is like, well, okay, I shouldn't do this. That's nice. Then, but what am I supposed to do? You don't give them any alternative. So don't worry about telling them what not to do. Yeah, I would. What was that? I just got this thing from was it Mother Mahima Mai? There was, I think you might have read it on the conference. It was a statement by Srila Prabhupada. Let me see where it is. I'll get it. And it was just, maybe all of you saw it anyway. Yeah, it was, let's see, what day was it? I think it was December 11th. He said, let them do whatever nonsense they're doing. Let them chant and take prasadam. We don't mind what they're doing. That is later on. When I was in Thompson Square Park, I never asked them that. Don't come here, you are drinking. Everyone was drinking. Prabhupada laughs. I know that. Everyone had illicit sex. What was I going to restrict? Was I going to restrict them first? Let them come. Chant Hare Krishna. That's Prabhupada. That's how he started the movement. He didn't say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do. He said, do this.
So just keep encouraging them, whatever little baby steps they're taking. Just say, yes, yes, very nice. Keep going. Go to temple, take prasad, do whatever you can like that. Just keep encouraging them.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
What else can you do?
So will Krishna give them a big slap somewhere along the way and say, wake up?
Well, they might decide to give it up all by themselves if they get a
Are
high.
you worried about that?
When you get a higher taste, you can get up the lower taste. The higher taste is Krishna consciousness. We're trying to give them the higher taste instead of slapping down their lower taste. Because they don't have any alternative when you tell them, don't do this. That's nice.
So what will bring them to that point of surrender? That means they must keep doing those little things and increasing.
That's called preaching.
Ah,
You have to know how to do that.
this young lady in question is my daughter.
Well, because she's your daughter's, she will still keep the connection with Krishna consciousness. Let's see how it spans out. Anyway,
Hare Krishna.
you can't
Thank you, Guru
you
Maharaj.
can't treat people like children. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Only when they keep trying what they're doing and they keep failing, then when you say don't do this, they'll say, oh, maybe you're right. But as long as they're getting some success or some perceived success, not success, they perceive it that way, they'll continue.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we just spread the holy name. Give them prasadam. Invite them to the temple. Take an interest in them on a personal level and show them how everything in the world is actually given to them by God. There's many ways to show the positive rather than smashing the negative. We do that all too because those who know, we reinforce their positive by reminding them of the not to take shelter of the negative.
Thank you very much. So much in one morning. You're learning all of that. That's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
I don't see anybody's hand up, so I'll go to the chat. There's one from Dear Krishna Prabhu, and he said, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the powerful and all glories to you. Thank you for the beautiful morning class. Question. After accepting and realizing that everything belongs to Sri Krishna, what can we do to not take a back seat and become lazy, thinking nothing is nothing is here for me anyway. Nothing. He said nothing is not here for me, but I think he thinks nothing is here for me. Usually people get motivated when there's something for them in it. So
yeah, we say if you chant and be happy. Everyone wants happiness anyway. So we say take prasadam. It's the better. You can't find any food that tastes so nice. It's ordinary. It's just the food we eat all the time, but now it's been blessed by Krishna's transcendental saliva, so it has a certain effect upon everyone. When people take prasadam, their consciousness is inspired. Make nice prasadam. Prabhupada said that. All of your temples, Prabhupada said, all the temples should cook every day and make puri, halava, sabji, pakora, 4 preps, and have it ready for any guests that come at any time throughout the day. And then he said, and then we keep a supply all the way up to the evening, and when there's no more people, then whatever's left could be taken by the devotees. So Prabhupada never wanted anyone to go away who came to the temple or who came to see him without getting prasadam.
Good lesson for all of us.
Mm.
Amita Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the wonderful Vaishnavas. Guru Maharaj, people come to Krishna consciousness to find a higher taste or the missing factors of their life, which they are looking for. Is it possible that even after coming to this path, they still feel that missing factors?
Yeah, Prabhupada talks about, I was just listening today, he said some of our devotees who came, they are no longer with us. They have their choice. They came, they tried, and for some reason, they couldn't stay connected, or for whatever reason, they left. So people have their choice. But some people immediately get an experience. Others will come out of curiosity. Others will come for some material gain. Others will come just because they want to stop suffering. But let them come for whatever reason. We should be ready to offer something to them in the form of spiritual activities. That's what our temples are supposed to be. Supposed to be oases away from the material energy where people can experience the Supreme Lord in his deity form, in the form of prasadam, in chanting, in dancing, and various types of spiritual activities, dramas. Everything's there.
So as Prabhupada says, Guru Maharaj, that he has given everything. But is it that people are not able to keep their patience to stand that long?
That could, each person is an individual. So people come for different reasons. People stay for different reasons. People leave for different reasons. But ultimately, we should give them a chance to experience, their higher nature. That's what we're about. Yeah. So make your home a temple when people come. Show them your deities, show them your artwork you're doing, show them give them some prasadam, and get together and have a little group chanting. So even in your homes, you can invite people and do something to which you'll give them a spiritual experience. We have our temples, we have our schools, we have our restaurants, we have our communities, we have our homes. Everything the devotee is connected with should be used in such a way as that when whoever comes, they get something about Krishna. We don't come and sit there and talk about all of the gossip that's going on in the material world and then lament because we can't do anything to change it. It's like the crying program. No. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said, you have at least 3 people together, you sit down, kartals, mridanga, or kartals, harmonium, and you can sing.
Mm. Thank you.
We were doing that here at the retreat. Every night, from the last thing we did as part of the retreat program, it was from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. We were having kirtan. We started off, I remember the first night, we had about 5 or 6 people there, and it was 2 or 3 of us singing and playing instruments. And gradually it became more and more. And as we did it each night, more people found out about it. And as more people found out about it, they told others, and others were coming. And one night we had 50 people there, 20, so people will come if we have something to offer.
So Gumaj, there's something funny I wanted to share on the retreat. It's not funny actually, but it makes sense, but externally it's funny. So one of the we had the kirtan, and by the end of the kirtan there were many other outsiders as well. So one of the females she was just talking to me about how do you practice the process, and you are a grihastha, how do you cope up with the process at the same time you're living a grihastha life and all that things. So I was talking to her, oh, you look so calm, you look so your aura is so nice, you look, I said, that's all, do you see my Guru Maharaj? It's all coming from him. And she was looking at you. It was she found everyone, I think she was talking about Akarshani Radha as well, but she found everything very cool and calm, and they felt pacified when they were in the kirtan. So I said, yeah, it comes from the parampara. It's coming from our guru.
Well, where's he getting it from? Getting it from his guru. And
No,
it goes back to Krishna. It goes back to Krishna ultimately.
Yes.
Yeah, people, they see something wonderful. They can't understand how it's happening, but they know it's something wonderful. Yeah, I've been sitting on planes one time, and people would come up to me. You look so peaceful. Said, they're thinking maybe the plane's going to crash, or the pilot's going to fall asleep, or something. They can't wait to land. They're in anxiety. So they're busy. They stupefy everybody on the plane with these stupid movies, so people get absorbed in that, and so they forget about what's going on out around them. I just sit there and chant or read, or maybe sometimes fall asleep. So they have to keep busy either eating something or watching some drab movie.
Yes,
otherwise they're miserable. It's like an intoxicated person. If he doesn't stay intoxicated, when he becomes sober, he becomes miserable.
Yes, Kumar. I was glad and it left some good impressions on them. So
yeah, all we have to do is be ourselves. That's all.
Yes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Jakshi, you're there.
Yeah.
I got some service for you if you're ready.
Yes, Maharaj, I was going to email you. I'll do that.
Okay. I'm
Hare
gonna
Krishna.
send you something that was sent to me looking for devotees for service. So
Sure, Maharaj.
sounds
Thank you.
exciting.
Hare
Soon,
Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, and all glories to the assembled devotees. Yes, Maharaj, you were saying. And all glories to Sakshi. Haribol.
Hey, hey.
so what's the question?
Yeah. My question is how not to become complacent and comfortable during favorable times, which is a kind of illusion, but still we think like things are going well. So we,
Well, if you become complacent, the next minute it won't go well. So you could foresee, if I get complacent in these good times, pretty soon all these good times will no longer be any good. Yeah, we always think, all right, Krishna is giving a lot of mercy. So what am I going to do? I just have to give more to Krishna now. The more he gives me, the more I want to give him. It's not like I just take it and feel good about it and then no, figure out more ways to reciprocate Krishna's mercy by serving different ways, by glorifying him in different ways. Complacency is just some feature of the material mode of ignorance, that's all. It's ignorant. Nobody likes a complacent person anyway. Not even from the material point of view, they're not so popular.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Brett, who?
thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Maharaj. Maharaj, going back to the purport, and I'm sorry if I missed a good bit. I caught the end of Sri Devi's question, and it kind of sounded like what I'm about to ask, but I was getting called into the temple room to help with Guru Puja. But you were going on about Nityanam, Chaitanam, Chaitananam, and talking about how the Lord does not touch this material world personally. His material energy does. And you know, Jiva souls were here, and we get caught up in this hard struggle. Maharaj, as we jump from one material situation to another, and I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I feel like as I'm getting older, as I'm getting in my later 20s, early 30s, like jumping from one material situation to another is making me feel like not so much expecting happiness, and this hard struggle is becoming more apparent and more clear. So what are some key ways that one can help alleviate this hard struggle, knowing that material life is going to consistently throw so many curveballs, and acceptance sometimes isn't so easy to accept, and that's just coming from my own personal stance.
I can't give you a general statement because each person is different. And your situation is what it is. You have to understand, I would have to understand more about your situation and then give suggestions based on that. But generally, the general thing is that we need more association with devotees and less association with the external energy. That would be the general statement. But then again, specifically, how to move in our present situation. When you're married, you have so many things you have to somehow put together in order to create some kind of arrangements to live in that way. When you're not married, it's easy. It's really easy when you're not married. All you do is, find time to engage in devotional service. That's all. If you're making money and working outside, you're associating with the non-devotees. You're associating with the non-devotees, you're going to go down. No question about that. So I would suggest anyone who's not married, they become more, they start to engage, use all their time for Krishna consciousness. And Krishna will take care of you. Of course, if you want to live like, some king and work hard and try to get some money and then sell your soul to the devil, and then you'll get some money. But that's not our program. Our program is to see our present situation and see how we can move closer to to Krishna in devotional service. But I can't say anything specific because I don't know your present situation. That's a general thing. More association with devotees, less association with the non-devotees. And ultimately, get out of that association with non-devotees.
Hare Krishna. This is suggestion. Maybe you can write directly to Maharaj too.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, yeah, Maharaj. Absolutely. I have to reach out and write to you. It's sort of the same situation it was the end of the summer. So I will touch base with you and get you back up to date on that whole situation. So Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Manas Tyagi Prabhu, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the assembled devotees here. First of all, my sincere apologies, Prabhu, Maharaj, because I just missed few of your classes I had to because of the official activities. So those were a little critical, so I was not able to. Sorry for that, Maharaj, but I tried to, see the YouTube videos for those days. So Maharaj, in fact, just wanted to share one of the experiences for Sridevi Mataji's questions. So the answer that you gave to her also, that reminded me of the interaction that I had with you during one of the home programs at Cincinnati when you came last year, almost 1.5 years back. So I asked you this question that and that was more with respect to the certain habits, eating habits, including that. So how to go away with that. And the answer that I just want to share with everyone here, the answer that you gave to me was, don't give up anything. That was your first statement, and then you stopped. And I was little amazed, like, what does this mean? And then you continue saying after a pause that don't stop anything and don't give up anything. And then you said, so don't give up this association that you are in. Don't give up this connect with Krishna. And including with these two, whatever is there, continue that, but don't give up this as well along with it. And eventually you will be able to see taste that higher taste, and you would see the result. So that there you stopped, and that impacted me like anything, and that has changed probably everything within me. So because you also gave me the solution in a way by not giving up anything what is existing, but at the same point of time that now I have associated to Krishna and these association, I should not give up that as well. So that gave me that purpose, and that somehow changed everything within me. So just want to share everyone that one statement at times, if that comes with that impact and influence, with that power, can change life in just seconds or minutes. So that happened to me, Maharaj. So just wanted to share with everyone here, and just reminded me of that, interaction with you. That's it, Maharaj. Thank you.
Krishna is for everybody.
Krishna.
Because everyone belongs to Krishna. We don't belong to this material world.
Yes, Maharaj.
Living in the material world is like trying to get out of what we have gotten in by mistake. Somehow we got here, now we got to get out.
Okay.
So we have to foster our Krishna consciousness, that's all. And the time element is also there. Maya is expert because she knows how to keep you busy so you don't have any time for Krishna. That's the problem. She's expert. Oh, you got this, you have to do this, you have to go here, you have to go, this is one of your responsibilities. She'll just keep telling you how important it is that your material life becomes, more and more perfect. But if you listen, then, no time for Krishna.
Mm.
And that's why Prabhupada said, I want to make the whole world Krishna conscious by creating a lifestyle where everything centers around Krishna. Some of our leaders were also preached that why work for the material energy and simply throw back, all of the money we earn back into the same place that we get it from, which propagates the whole material life. Prabhupada said, live simply, depend on Krishna, and chant Hare Krishna and be happy. It's too simple for most of us. We think it doesn't work because it sounds like something that, you give to a child for a formula for pacification, but it's not. It actually works. Just like yesterday was Ekadasi. So what do you do on Ekadasi? You chant. And the more you chant, the more you try to perfect your chanting, the more you start to enjoy your chanting. And the more you start to enjoy your chanting, the more you realize how wonderful chanting is. And then you want to chant more.
Exactly how it works.
But if we don't give it a chance, it doesn't develop beyond a certain point. Same with relationships with devotees. Same with reading the books and understanding the books. We see how much time am I giving to Maya and how much time am I giving to Krishna? Measure it out.
Right.
Mm.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
See, Krishna wants to keep you so busy that you'll forget about Maya, and Maya wants to keep you so busy that you'll forget about Krishna. So which one you're going to choose?
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So quick note here for those who may have come in. I've heard a number of people have said that I caught part of your lecture. Please go back. There's a YouTube recording. The earlier part of this, when Maharaja was answering questions, will really blow your mind. You understand material energy for what it is. So if we didn't catch it, please go back and hear in the YouTube recording of it. I don't see any. Oh no. Okay, so there's no questions. Raj, are you open to doing some japa this morning, if your time permits it?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes to 7 where I am in the evening, and by 7 o'clock I have to depart, but we can go for 10 minutes.
Okay.
I can go for 10 minutes, and then you can continue on from there.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you say morning, I look out the window and all I see is darkness.
It's material world and time zones.
It shows you.
Yeah.
Where you are, is that correct? Or where I am is correct? Which one? Neither one. Because it's all part of the illusion.
Yeah.
Where you are, everything is always correct, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah. You're going to start another debate. I'm not even going to get there. I think it's
No, there's no debate about it. Where
Okay.
Guru Maharaj is, always everything is correct because he's carrying Vrindavan with him. No
In that
debate.
sense, yes. Yes. End of debate. Hare Krishna. So, all right. Maharaj will be on for about 10 minutes. Sometimes I think, I don't know, some in your group, there are pictures shown, so maybe I could just pull up. I can pull out your Prabhupada's picture.